They got big egos, it's plain to see. I didn't leave the life left me.
I'm trying to do some hashtagging and post this. I don't know how. I have to get with Megan, find out how I do what I was doing. They send you the invite when you're live. They invite you to their live. I don't know how to do that. But you know, another thing that we had talked about was when you're out riding and you come up on a pack or you know individuals, you know, on the freeway or you know, and you're on your bike. And what was where did I see? Oh, I saw a video on one of these social medias that had, you know, this guy was on a bullet bike and there's a club in the far left lane, but there was at least three lanes. It was almost like heading into like a downtown of a major metropolis. And he was narrating it, but I'm not talking in real time because he obviously before he posted it, he edited it. But you know, he's like, I didn't know what am I not supposed to pass? Am I supposed to pass? He's like, you know, and what had happened was for whatever reason, this club decides to jump lanes and one guy comes way over and cuts him off. And, you know, again, you're talking 3 wide lanes. And he's like, he slows down and speeds up. And then they got back and he was like, and he wasn't like just flying past them. And he was riding back from them a bit for a while. And then when he came up again, then they start tearing off. So he speeds up. Well, then 2 of them jump out. Of course, he's on like an 1100 Ninja or something, or a Busa. He's like, okay, I've had enough of this. Bye. You know, and that to me, that's just people being dicks, you know, because there is that. But and I get it respectfully. If I come, I've come up the different parts. Like you come up like 71, come up on our freeway where it's only 2 lanes. You know, what do you do? Well, what even I do or did with the badge was come up and you know where they can see you. So I'm off to the last guy right. If they're a real club or a decent club, then somebody's running back. You know, either a warrior or whatever they call them, warlord or nomad or somebody, but somebody's running that rear because you shift the whole pack from the rear. So you know, you come up and you ride until you get a wave. Usually they'll see you and they'll just wave you on. They're not going to try to hold you up. They're not like trying to block traffic. They're really not. Then when you blow past them, that's just rude. But I really didn't want people tailing me anyway. You know, it's like the last thing I wanted was some guy I didn't. And in this situation, he was explaining it was a lone club member was coming on, and he goes, and I slowed down as to not, you know, to pass him disrespectfully. Well, he slowed down. He goes, and I slowed down even more. And it's like he was getting pissed. Well, yeah, because you're acting like a dumbass. If he's slowing down, I mean, he should have waved you, pass, and realized what you were doing. But he might be a new patch, you know, too. I don't want someone tailing me. You know, no matter what, even today, you know, I would rather you wave respectfully and we motion you by, you know, because if anybody does know, if they don't know anything about clubs, that's fine. But if they do know that the pack is steered from the back, hey Tony, what's up, brother? You know, the pack is always steered from the back, so you know that if you don't know that. So when you do come up on that last guy, because guys can't see behind them clearly. So you're not going to move a whole pack unless you know that left lane is cleared. So how it works is from front to back. You know, the leader who is leading the pack, which could be anybody, it could be an officer, it could be a row captain, it could be anybody. They're going to signal generally. And we had it really down the dead. We had it phenomenally down. We actually did in the other one. And the reason I bring up the digs, it was my club. But, you know, I would signal twice. I would throw, and everyone knew it. And we had sometimes 50 bikes in pack, but everybody knew I would throw. I always rode left, left side up front. But I would throw once, and nobody moved. The only guy that would move would be the rear bike, who's running the rear, the warlord or the no matter whoever. Once he breaks over and I see him clear, that I will throw a second time. When I throw a second time, try to be as symmetry as possible. It didn't always work like that because people are idiots. I mean, you literally will sit there and tell brothers that like don't do this, and the first thing they'll fucking do is that. We went to a bar and there was a heat was on, and you know our state warlord says, you know, this is what we're going to do when we get there, and us two are going to go clear the bar because the boss is coming, blah blah blah. And we literally just talked about it, and we leave, and we're in 10 fucking minutes, and we get over there. And you know the farm animal, the dirty farm animal, you know what I'm talking about, and one who's passed away now. I mean, they would get off the bike and walk right in the fucking bar. And it's like, did we just not talk about this 10 minutes ago? I mean,
it's like herding cats, man.
It is exactly like herding cats. And I always say that you're only as smart as your least smart member, and there's no IQ test to get a patch. The yellow line in the front is where you always were. Yes, yeah, exactly. He is what I wrote. He's up in Ohio. Exactly. And sometimes it was weird for me when I was in the other one, the big one, Diamond Club, when I came down, is that the road captain rides left. And whomever the officer that wants to, usually you stack them up, whoever's the highest ranking back. But I was never God, I hated being over here. I always liked being over here, but I didn't want to screw them up, you know. And really, the guy if they're running the pack, and we didn't use road captains to run the pack back in the first club in the second. It was always whoever's the highest ranked officer, and they always sat to the left on the yellow line, and that's where I'm used to riding. But yeah, you got to watch. And you know what? It's an art form too. I got yelled at by my own guys especially as we started growing to bigger numbers and had bigger packs. You know, it was that slinky effect. You know, we get on the freeway ramp, and by the bottom of the ramp, you know, I didn't like take off, but we're building momentum and speed. But we're doing 70 or 80. You know, by the entrance ramp, as they say, a quarter mile to get on the freeway because you don't want to blend in. You want to come in slow like a train. The problem is those guys still turning. So they're doing 85 to try to catch you, and then you know with that slinky effect. And I struggled with it at first when we had big packs, and guys would come up and be like, you know, my officers would be like, man, you need to slow it down. I mean, you literally have to crawl down the entrance ramp until you see that your last bike has turned and they're ready to go, and then just power up and go.
Yeah.
I just didn't like coming in slow or freeway because people are morons, man. They won't get over. But we got a lot better down here at somebody would. One of the rear usually is either a warlord and or nomad in the back. Will break off and come up, and they'll just shoot out and block. You know, even if we're not necessarily blocking traffic, like say a funeral or something, just to clear that lane.
Yeah.
But people get nervous, man. That's how people die.
Oh yeah.
I mean, citizens get freaked the fuck out when you pull a pack on to the freeway, and they don't know what to do. They don't want to do the wrong thing. Some are just oblivious. It might be that 80-year-old lady, you know, from down the street who doesn't have a clue, you know, and doesn't care who you are. And you, like I said, you can be right, but you can still be dead. You know, I mean,
yeah, that's right. We know we've got brothers who died.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they'll bite you. They'll get you. Well, we're still shadow banned because we're only showing. We're only rolling about 2 at a time. Now 3, but yeah, I am posting it out through social media.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Well, I remember when I got really kind of in with that 1% club as a friend, as a hang around. You know, and they gave me, or I purchased a support patch for my vest.
Right.
And even then, which we're talking, I don't even know what, but 17, 18 years ago, you wear that to Quaker Steak on your "These are my church clothes" vest, and the other dumb shit that was all over, like the fucking STP fucking NASCAR suit. People were like, oh, "Look," they're already pointing you out, and you're just wearing a support patch. But it says, but they also know that support patch, particularly, you don't just get it anywhere. Right. So they're like, "Oh, he must be somebody or know somebody," and they do treat you differently, you know. Better or worse, you know, depending on where you go.
Could go either way.
Well, that's one thing I did like about our club was that we didn't sell support gear. Oh, Tank's here. Tankster. We didn't sell support gear at every fucking bike event and show and booth and all that. If someone was wearing one of our shirts, there's a 98.9% chance they have been to our clubhouse. We only sell them at either our own parties, you know, big parties, or parties that we have at our club. You had to have been at our clubhouse. What I'm saying, we don't take them out and set them up in booths. So we knew, unless they got it at the fucking what do you call those places? The donation places, Goodwill.
Yeah.
We had a guy once. I was down here then, but was a retired member, and he was on the east side, or he was on the west side of Columbus. He was at Walmart, and this dude just riding around, sporting around, wearing full colors T-shirt, and the guy called the state, I think it was a state boss or somebody up there, and was like, what do I do with this guy? He's like, go over and offer to buy it from him, and offer to buy him any shirt he wants in there. We'll pay you back. Then I explained to him, so they kind of go up, and I don't think it had any special meaning to that guy, but he said they had bought a storage unit. They had defaulted, and in that storage unit was a whole box of shit. And
wow.
they ended up going over and getting all of it. He gave it all, and they gave him some money. You know what I mean, for the difference or whatever. But yeah, but I've heard where people have gotten them from the damn, the donation places. In fact, me and Cowboy were somewhere up in, we were in Ohio, and then we had like a little bar club thing going on there for the Last Resort Brothers, Last Resort type thing, and we were somewhere eating, and there was some dude sitting there eating, and he had one of our colors on. But that club wasn't really even, I'd say patch. It wasn't, it didn't even say MC. But it was, only the guys had it. It was like maybe 14 of us, maybe 18 that had that shirt. And they had to be a friend of the club, kind of like the one you're wearing, the BLRS. There was only 7 guys, not that one, but the one I gave you. This is BLRS. There's only 7 of us that had that because they were the guys that owned it. But yeah, it was just funny to see. I was like, why not? Fuck yeah, I gotta get that. One of you motherfuckers are selling shit at a yard sale,
Yeah.
But yeah, and you gotta be careful. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not true that, some of these videos you see where guys will buy the patches or the whole set kit off of somewhere, China, and wear it. What would anyone do that? I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. I mean, you have to know that's going to go wrong, go bad. But the SOA thing is the thing that really is silly, I think, because you'll see people get all bent out of shape because somebody's wearing a Sons of Anarchy shirt. Oh, come on, man. Really? Who gives a fuck? You know what it is? I mean, if I wore a Dukes of Hazzard shirt in the 70s, didn't mean I was a Duke boy. I mean, it's a television show. Get over it,
Yeah, you don't get mad when somebody wears a Mickey Mouse shirt.
Well, I mean, as I said, people are wearing jerseys all the damn time for their favorite sports teams. Does that make them a Bengal or a Buckeye or whatever?
Well, you could be a Musketeer, though.
You
still have those.
See you real soon. M-I-C. See you real soon. K-E-Y.
Right.
Why? To punch you in the face. But, I think, and again, like I had said last week, I found that in a lot of cases, you'll see, like on social media, you'll see supporters of clubs arguing, stirring up shit that you would never hear 1%ers get involved in.
That's what it is.
That's a level of maturity. They're shit stirrers, And
that's right.
The 1%ers they're saving it for when it matters,
That's right.
But we also talked about if you are to that point where you get invited to a party or to an event, how to act when you're there.
Yeah.
When you go, it's not the place to get wasted.
No, it's not the place.
How's this guy keep inviting me to his live?
Not good idea to get drunk and pass out.
Well, you definitely don't want to do that. I'm going to text Megan real quick.
That was all these, heed my warning, young man. Don't get drunk here and pass out.
Well, in a lot of clubhouses will have the sign up that says this is not the place to discover you can't handle your alcohol. You get drunk, get mouthy. This ain't a bar. This is akin to being in someone's home, the way I see it. And you don't go to people's house and act like an asshole. Some people are just assholes wherever they go. But you don't want to get in there. You want to get in there. You can have a good time, and it's very neat. I remember the first trips down to Columbus to the clubhouse, and it's just like, wow. But I'm smart enough to sit back, listen, and keep my mouth shut, talk when spoken to. Not try to be the center of attention or get too comfortable, because I can have that when I'm out of my element. You sit back, listen, and watch. Where some people, we've had one up here. Half J was, I said he get we'll get seasoned over there, and I go up, hey man, why don't you take off so you can come back next time? He's like, oh, I didn't mean to be. And then he gets overly apologetic. He's getting fucked. look, you're right there, and you're not just a loud New Yorker. You're not intentionally just right. You're just getting a little bit too comfortable, and I don't want to break off. Someone takes something you say the wrong way. If you're getting a buzz, if you leave now, then we know you can come back next time. You know, you're just getting over that edge, right? I'm trying to check her.
It's easy to do. It happens to the best of us sometimes.
Not me, buddy. I don't lose my composure. That's the other thing is, I mean, even in the clubs, these guys go out. Like I said, the last band of people that I, was with, when I first got with them, like, good Lord, man, the war is drunker than the boss is, and out in public.
That's not good.
I mean, you got to be on your game all the time. Let's see, what else you got there?
I think that my one of my funnest things ever that I ever was able to go through. We were just talking about.
There you go, Tony. You're right. Get a buzz and leave. Drink cheap and then leave. And that is the advantage. I'm going to step off here, and since you quit burning incense, I'm going to burn my own incense over here for a second.
Oh, you do that, man. I'll tell you, you're weak, man. You're so weak.
Here's the deal. Mom didn't raise a quitter like you, so.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I'll say some words at your funeral, brother.
Look, buddy, anytime.
Yeah, emphysema.
You act like that's like a bad thing at this point. It's like, you know what? There are things far worse than death, and I ain't worried about it.
No, we were just talking about people and their improper lane changes at times. I think one of my favorite things, one of my favorite memories that I have now, I actually have this because of my ex-wife. She gave me a great memory. Many years ago, when I was with the club, we were going on a run. And I happened to invite a guy and his friends to the clubhouse. You know how we do. And he came to the clubhouse, and I let him know that, hey, guess what? Tomorrow morning, we're taking off from the clubhouse, and we're going on this ride. And you want to come, you're more than welcome to come. And he said, oh, yeah, man, that'd be awesome. So sure enough, the time came. He showed up with his friends, and we took off. I schooled him first, let him know how we were riding, where he would be, what his position was, and what to do and what not to do under any condition. So we took off, and we're probably about 15 miles, maybe 20 miles into this ride. And all of a sudden, here I am all the way up at the front. All of a sudden, here's this guy on his bike, shot past me at about 100 miles an hour. Right, blew us all away. And next thing I know, we're coming up on this corner, this red light. There was a filling station there. So I signaled for everybody to pull off into this gas station because that's where he was sitting. And so we pulled off. I got off my bike, walked right straight up to him, and bash as I am, right there,
such a
in front of
bully.
everyone.
Violent people.
Oh, that definitely called for a black eye. And why that is such a great memory for me is because when I finally split up with my ex-wife, that's who she got to replace me.
Oh, nice.
Life, you get one shot to prove that you're a man. One shot to be the best you can. One shot.